Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, would like to welcome you to the first South Texas Amateur Radio Club meeting of 2025. And we're going to have a very busy week with Field Day this weekend. I would like to start by having a moment of silence for Charles Petty, W5HOP, who passed away this week. Charles's memorial service is this Saturday at 2 p.m. Is that right, Wilbur? Okay, 2 p.m. in Portland. Well, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, and would like to go around and let everybody introduce themselves. Most of us, we know each other. A few we don't. We've got a visitor tonight. So we'll start at the front table here. Sparky?
K5RWW, Rachel, board member.
I'm Tom, KE5ICX, new member of the club. Randy, KE5JRT.
I'm Wilbur Federer, AB5WW, Portland.
Herschel Tui, KF5, Mike Bravo Oscar.
Mine's William,
KJ5JRI.
KC6PEI.
Alan Baker, KK5 RSQ.
Field Golf 5, Blue Lake Rectangle, Gabriel.
John, K19Z.
I'm Wayne, K5NCW.
I'm Jerry, KA5, UYF.
I'm Pete, N1 LSB.
Tom, in K510.
David, KF5NF.
Rusty, K5DX. Dale, KI5YCV.
David, KJ5BW.
Joel, W1KPE.
85, PC, Ready.
Like 80 Field Golf 5, Interactive Name 31.
Bill K5 J, I'm sorry, KJ5 DJH.
Yes, sir.
E036 and
Okay, great. Who'd we miss? Oh, Bill. Don't want to miss you, Bill. We appreciate you coming. Quite a drive, but at least it didn't have ice on it. The meetings of the last meeting, the minutes of the last meeting. Do you have those?
Minutes from the September meeting. I was not here in October, but there were no actions from the meeting itself. We just made the announcements and reports on the repeaters and stuff. If anybody wants to look at them, I have them here.
And then, of course, in November and December, we did not have a meeting. We just partied. So there are no minutes to that. The treasurer's report, Sparky?
So as for normal security protocol, we don't put out the financials out loud in this meeting because we are putting it out on the web. We don't want that information out. So if anybody's interested in seeing the financials, they can come and see me and I will show them to you. I can tell you that we have started our membership drive. So those that have renewed their membership, we definitely appreciate it. And for those that haven't done that yet, we look forward to your donation. It definitely helps the club pay for expenses that it has, to include the insurances and well, the insurances are the big ones. And then other projects as we're moving on, maintaining the operation of the repeaters, keeping them on the air and fixing anything that needs to be fixed. Donations to the Lexington get earmarked specifically for Lexington use, and they keep things up and running and repaired over there. So if you haven't paid your dues, we appreciate those to come when you can, convenient to you to make that payment either in person, check, credit card, cash, online through PayPal. As we're going to continue to discuss here, we got elections coming up, so you do have to be a current member in order to vote. So there's that. One thing I'll add, and we'll discuss it a little bit more, the coffers are a little bit beefier than we've seen in the past, only because we did take in a grant from AARL, and Jim will explain what that is, but we took in about an extra, we basically doubled our coffers just with that grant, but that grant money is specifically earmarked for the project, and we have to account for it accordingly. So if nobody has any questions, we will move forward. Bill in the back. Yes, you can. So the question was, can you pay tonight? Yes, I can take your payment tonight. All right.
Thank you, Sparky. We appreciate that. Before we go on, I have a little award I want to give that we do periodically, and the recipient is not here tonight. However, someone that's right down the street from him is, and I'm going to let him carry this to Tommy Tilgen, K5 SES. It's our certificate of appreciation that we call the Hammy for all of the work that Tommy did in helping out the system on the Lex. He was very instrumental in getting a lot of the stuff up there, and we really do appreciate that. Okay, Winter Field Day is, of course, this Saturday, so we don't have a whole lot of planning time. However, Winter Field Day will be here. The option was the museum, and we were concerned about the weather being cold and windy down there. So even if it's cold here, which it doesn't look like it's going to be, we could operate from the foyer with the tower outside. The tower trailer will be here and set up, and you're welcome to bring any of your equipment and set up. It's as always going to be a really good fun time. There is something a little different that's coming up right now, and that is as far as emergency communications goes, the Natural Disaster Operational Workshop is going to be here in Corpus Christi. We generally have it every couple of years. It's going to be at the aquarium. They moved it, and I couldn't think of it. It's going to be at the aquarium. It is, let me find my notes here. The main thing I want to get across about it, it's mainly, it's a 4-day thing, but 2 days are travel days. So the 2 middle days would be the days that we would participate. Day 1 is meeting all of the state people and all the other people that we would be helping out in an emergency. Day 2 is we actually get on the air with them. They will send them somewhere and send a ham team with them. And I will say this, that 2 years ago, our object is to provide backup communications. 2 years ago, they actually had a failure during the NDOW, and we were able to pick it up and go with it as we should. So that looked real good on the report to the state. The other thing is that this is not a RACES or ARES or Mars event. It is a ham radio event. And so if you're a member of any of the organizations, we'd really like to have you go down there. If you're not a member of any and you want to participate, it's very educational. You get to meet the people that we will be operating with if we have a storm or whatever. And it's always good to know the people, be able to shake their hand and have them know you. And let's see, I've lost my notes. Wilbur, what day is that? The 12th and the 10th through the 14th. So the 11th and the 12th and the 13th would be the active days for AM radio. Is that correct? Right. Okay. So the other 2 days are for the guys out of state to travel. At this point, there are about 30 hams coming from across Texas to participate. And so it'll be a real good deal if our local guys got out there and showed up and pitched in. Last year, or last NDOW, we had a real good turnout. and an outstanding drill, even though it rained. But we operated in the rain, and it was really good. So put that on your calendar if you are interested in emergency communications. Yes, it's February 10th, 13th, and 14th. But the first day and the last day are travel days for the guys coming from out of town.
One of the amateur groups out of San Antonio, individuals will bring the trailer down. They normally do that. I don't know about this one, but they have in the past.
Yeah, Cherie usually brings her trailer. Got a really nice MCOM trailer for you to go to scope out and say, I need to build one of those. That's always what happens. I mean, after the last NDOW, I was putting it together saying, we need this, we need that. And Rachel said, hold on. But
Some of those state trailers or motorhomes will have amateur radio equipment. Some do not. So you need to find out which one has it.
Right.
You have to set up. If guys do not have an amateur radio license, they'll be in on us.
right, exactly. And thank you for that, Wilbur. VE testing, Mr. James, would you come fill us in on the latest, please, sir?
Thank you. Our next VE testing session will be in February the 17th. That should be a Monday, be at 6 p.m. at the Dairy Queen in Portland, Texas. So, yeah, if you got anybody that's studying to get their tech, be sure they go to Coors, set up their account, and get their FRN number before they come over to take the test. If you're going for the upgrade, please bring a copy of your license, of course, your picture ID, because we have to send that copy of the license in with your test materials. So if you would, plan on that before you arrive at the testing session. You're more than welcome to come over there at 5:15, 5:30, grab you something to eat or a drink, and then come on into the testing area and we'll get you set up. So I'm looking forward to that. I did have a candidate, and I advised Jim of it for the ham cram that next one that gets organized. So we're getting some participation there. If you got somebody that's interested in doing the 1-day prep and test, have them get a hold of Jim so that we can get a date arranged. And of course, I'll have to arrange for VEs for that afternoon so that we can give the test. Also, on another note, I would like to remind everybody that STARC is a 501c3. So if you are a member of an organization that has a 501c3 set up and they're interested in supporting emergency communications, we are accepting grants or donations. And our treasurer can take care of all the details for you. So keep that in mind as you go to your different meetings and stuff. Like one of the biggies in this part of the country is Driscoll. Another one is NEC, Nueces Electric Corporation, and there's many, many more. So if you're a member of any of those types of groups, sit down with their 501c3 personnel and let them know that we exist and we could use a little help to prepare for those situations where we need emergency communications. We just had one, the ice storm, such as it was. Can you imagine that lasting for a week? All the power and stuff being out? Yeah, we might need emergency communications. So that's just one of the many, many things that we can come in and help on besides the exercise that's going to be here in February. Thank you. Oh, I stand for any questions. Okay.
Thank you, James. Appreciate it, and appreciate all you do for the club and testing around here. As far as our repeater situation, most of them are working just fine. However, the 44225 All-Star repeater is off the air. And it's going to be off the air for a while. It pretty much imploded. It has some major problems, and the power supply is basically non-existent now. So the board has got some deciding to do how we're going to move forward with that, whether we're going to have this one fixed or look at a replacement. Unfortunately, that's going to be down for the foreseeable future. Hopefully not too long, but it looks like it's going to be several weeks at least. The bright side of that is Wayne and Henry and I did some testing. We thought it had a bad antenna, and it doesn't. And so that is a very good deal. So now we've just got to get the repeater ironed out. Sparky, do you have anything about the digital repeater situation?
Up and running, no complaints, no gripes.
Okay, the Fusion is up and running on 146.88, and 146.88 works FM if nobody is on there doing Fusion. If there's a Fusion station, it bumps you off of your FM, but it's got great coverage at 600 feet up out there, and so check it out. USS Lexington, and I have my floating information source. If Joel would come up and tell us what's going on there. Thank you, sir.
Short and sweet on the Lexington, the amplifier that Chuck Hoffman's wife donated is back on the Lexington. I haven't hooked it up yet due to the weather. I wasn't in. Of course, if you look, the Lexington was closed on Tuesday, which is my normal day to go in. So hopefully next week we'll be able to get that hooked up and operating. That really be nice to have that hooked up to the 7300. Also on this past Sunday, before the weather came in, a couple of us ran up and took down the step IR antenna, the lower section that had been left out, and that is now stored in the new radio room. The upper section is actually quite long, so it's tied up against a handrail, not in the public area, but somewhere where we could kind of get it out of the way. And we're looking at new locations for that now, and looking possibly at something up near the new radio room. So we may be making several moves. There is a new table in the radio room. We had a donation for that. Thank you. It helps get us organized, and we're trying to get some seating in there so that we can have operators and visitors both in the room. And that's kind of all I have this week, or month, I guess.
Thanks, Joel. Appreciate it. And thank you for all you do down on the Lex, and Wayne and David, everybody that goes down there and works with the equipment. We appreciate that. It keeps them going. And if you haven't been on the Lexington yet to operate, do it. It's a lot of fun. Talk to one of them, and they will make sure that you get in. It's no cost for the club members to go to the radio room. When you go to the check-in, you just say, I'm going to the radio room, and they will let you in.
Talk about the memberships if they want to go on the tour.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Sparky. We do have membership cards for the Lexington if you want to take your family. They're good for 2 adults and 2 children, and we've got several that we can give you if you're going to take the family out there. That's one of the benefits of the club as well. Before I forget it, we have some new people who just came in, and I understand from a long way away. Would you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Keith Bell. I'm the UK. I have a US license, which is A6GA. I'm here for us. I've been a few times, but that is when we've done it. Sort of shuttled between San Antonio and here. I'm a member of the radio club in San Antonio. Just be recent today. Saturday. I will bring them down here first. You can figure that out.
Okay, good. Thank you and welcome. We appreciate you coming. Do we have any old business that we haven't covered yet?
What time is the field day we're having for this Saturday?
We're generally going to set up about 8 o'clock. And of course, field day starts at noon, I think. But we'll be set up. And rain or shine or cold or heat, we'll be able to operate from here. The museum project update. We had applied for a grant from ARRL for the Science Museum here, who has invited us to put a permanent ham radio display in. And we've had the equipment donated. And now that we have the ARRL money for the antenna system, the status is that we are waiting until the city has its meeting in February, at which time they will tell us where we can put the tower. Once they tell us where to put the tower, gangbusters, we'll start being, we'll start getting it together rapidly. And so next meeting, we should know a whole lot more about the status there. But it's going to be a great place for the club, easy to get in and out. They are really gung-ho, the people that are the higher ups in the museum are ham radio family. I don't think they're operators, but they have parents or children who are. And so they're very gung-ho about getting us in there, and we're really looking forward to that. We think it's going to be just a great asset for the club and ham radio in general. Do you have any new business that I haven't discussed yet? Yes, sir.
I may have texted you and a couple other ones. Texas GMRS have called me, the president of the group out of Houston. They would like to set up repeaters here and do the e-com. And also ask the police department, I told them about Portland Police we have 2 meters on the antenna, but I do not know if they contact you or any of the other ones or not, but they're interested to hook in with Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, so forth. So there are things to change everything together.
Okay, thank you, Wilbur. One more thing about the repeaters. I don't want to jinx it by telling you what's going on, but we're looking at shuffling some repeaters around. We have found some much higher locations. And so as soon as we find out what we will actually be able to do, we'll make sure everybody knows that, but it's going to increase the range substantially on some of our machines. If you are looking for a t-shirt or cap or anything like that with the STARC logo on it, they're available at Prince Charming Royal Tees, which is behind Miller's Barbecue on Weber on Acushnet. And they're very reasonable and look really good. So if you'd like one, go out there and get it. It's on your dime, but it looks really good. Our next meeting will be February the 17th. Nope, February the 27th. And we hope everybody will be there. I'll be here for that. We have elections coming up that will be at that meeting. And so we have, I did not honestly expect a banner turnout tonight, so I'd only printed, I think, about 15 of these. But if you'd like to look at it, these are the people that have said that they would like to run. These are the current officers and incumbents who are rerunning, the board members who are rerunning, a list of those who are not up for election and will remain on the board, and a little biography of each one so that you know a little bit about the people running and their background, and you can base your decision a little bit on that. I will say this, at this time, we are missing one board member. And so we need somebody to volunteer to be on the board. And so if you are interested, please let me know or send me an email, n5vl@outlook.com, and include your little bio in there so we can get you on the list. And then next meeting, we will have the ballots ready and get them to you so you can vote and see who our board for 25, 26 is going to be. Sparky, I'm leaving something out about that. Oh, the email voting?
Right, so I don't have the information elaborate a little bit on the positions. Okay.
Okay. I have copies of these until I run out, and you're welcome. I'm going to leave them right up here instead of pass them out, and just come up and get one. It's got the current minus the one person we need. It's got everybody else on here.
So what I wanted to elaborate on was for the positions, the 4 officers, the president, the vice president, the secretary, and the treasurer. Those are 1-year terms. So those positions are up for election this cycle. So right now there's people that are running for those positions, but if any of you are interested in running for any of those positions, you're more than welcome to put your name in the hat. So if you are considering being a leader in this club, and if you want to participate in the decision-making process and in the direction of the club, by all means, consider putting your name in the hat for one of those positions. This cycle, we have 4 positions that are due, that are coming up for renewal or for the election cycle. So for those positions, these are 2-year terms, and whoever gets voted into those positions will start their 2-year term in March. There are 3 remaining board members that are on a 2-year term, but they have 1 year remaining. So they won't be up for election. Those positions won't be up during this election cycle. One of those members is opting to run for one of the officer positions. So when he frees his position up, if he becomes that, gets elected for that officer position, that makes his position available with a 1 year remaining of his term. So we're doing a special election in the same process to cover the 1 remaining year for him. We'd like to maintain a 4-3 split, so we have some continuity going from year to year within the board members, the directors, but the officer positions are elected every year. So all of these positions are available, up for grabs, up for self-nomination, nomination by somebody else. So if you're interested in filling any of those positions that are up for this election cycle, by all means, throw your name in the hat. Those are available. Yes, sir, in the back.
Is there any way you can put on the website the positions available and any prerequisite and or exemption with the job description?
Okay, so we can put that on there. The description is kind of already in the bylaws, but there's no exemptions. There's no prerequisite other than you have to be a paid member of the club and to be, I don't even think you have to be licensed to be on the board of directors. You just have to be over the age of 18, because you do have to. There is no prerequisite other than you have to be a member of the club and you have to be over the age of 18 because for legal reasons. So outside of those 2 requirements, anybody, as long as you're a club member, is eligible to fill any of these roles. And again, the job description is already included in the bylaws. I will link when we put out the announcement and the reminder that the election is coming up, that if anybody wants to throw their name in their hat in the ring for any of these positions, they're definitely welcome to do so. But so 4 officers, 4 board members, and then 1 board member will be a 1 year remaining. They'll fill a 1 year position, assuming that person gets elected for the officer role. So there are some stipulations that all of this will happen. So what we'll do for the officer roles is you'll vote for the officer of your choice if there's multiple candidates. For the board of directors, you'll vote for the top 4 to fill the open positions that are coming up due. And then if there's a runner-up and that position becomes available for the 1 year remaining, they'll fill that 1 year remaining. So it'll kind of just like be the top 4 plus the runner-up after that. Any questions about the election cycle? Okay.
Thank you, Sparky. Well, it sounds confusing, but it won't be by the time we get you the ballot to take a look at it. It's going to be pretty straightforward. I sent this page of the current people running out on the e-blast. If you are not getting our e-blast, please send us an email to eblast@n5crp.org, and we will make sure you're added to the mailing, and that way you don't miss out anything that's going to the club. Again, it's your club, and we want it to be run the way you want it. Our job as board members is to do what you tell us to do, and what we think is best for the club to expand it and expand amateur radio. And so we can always use more hams and more people to get involved. Do we have any questions about anything that we have gone over tonight? Okay, the club still has a few items left from the estate sales that we had been given. We have a Galaxy 350 and a Collins R388 receiver. They're big rack mount receivers, and in their day, they were really the hot item. So if you're interested in those, by all means, get in touch with me or any of the club members, and you can come by and take a look at them and kick the tire, so to speak, and then take it home with you for your donation of any amount. Okay, do we have any questions, any further comments tonight? All right, well, I noticed that we have some guys back there playing with some interesting little items, and how would they like to come up here and give us a little presentation? And we will go ahead and close the official meeting at this time and move on to the visitation and goofing off part of the program. Yes, come on, Mike, you had the toy.
Did you not want to be on?
Want to be on the air? Are you okay with being on the air?
You don't have to. No pressure. Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead and say goodbye.
Okay. We thank everybody that watched tonight and couldn't be here. And of course, we thank everybody that came out to the South Texas Amateur Radio Club meeting. And we'll see you next month.